Hello everyone, welcome to D&D News. How's it going? I am Greg Tito, and I'm coming at you a little bit late, but we do have a whole 50 minutes here before we will start a vodcast of last week's episode of Dice Camera Action. We had hoped to try to get the amazing live show from the Twitch glitch stage for you in time for today, but unfortunately, because that went out on the Twitch page, it's a little bit harder for us to get our hands on. But we will be showing that in the earliest time possible, pushing it to YouTube and all those fun things. If you hadn't seen it, please go ahead and watch it from the /Twitch page. The video on demand from there account will be there, and it is amazing. How many of you were able to actually watch the Dice Camera Action live show or any of our fun stuff from TwitchCon last week? Did you guys tune in? What did you think? It had a lot of fun. Oh, there you go. There's the VOD that Lauren is putting in there. Good stuff. And Lauren, in case you're wondering, I'm going to be using the old news doc in case you were looking for any links in there, because I will be talking about some fun news articles that have come out in the last week very soon, as well as going in and doing some show and tell. We got some actual product here in the office that I would love to open up and show you all of the fun stuff, so I'll be doing that over the course of this whole hour. Again, before we get to the awesome sauce that is a video on demand of last week's episode 114 Dice Camera Action with Vivid Vivka guest starring. So that is coming in around 50 minutes. How are you guys doing? I'm a little low energy today, a lot of traveling the last few days, and then I made an extremely bad call and ate an entire Philly cheesesteak and French fries about an hour ago. So I am in a food coma. This is like the third time I've done that before D&D News, and I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. Also, I need to hydrate. Yes, the infamous couch incident. That is a good thing that Majesty C2K1 is talking about. Do I want to spoil it? Do I want to let them know what the couch incident was? Sure, why not? Early on in the episode on Sunday, live from TwitchCon, Felicia Day came on as a ghost, as Lady Margaster, a deceased member of House Margaster, and she was being very, I don't know, dramatic in how she was placing herself, and she sat in one way on the couch talking to Chris Perkins, who was dressed as Count Strahd von Zarovich, and ass over tea kettle, she was able to fall down, and it was pretty good. She played it off very well, but that's what ghosts do. They allow accidents to happen, I guess. Maybe she was a poltergeist and she just didn't know it. Hard to say, really. So, if in case you can't see, I'm wearing a t-shirt that is a combination of Art and Arcana and Death Saves. This is for their tour of horrors. So yeah, the Art and Arcana folks came and did an amazing panel at TwitchCon. Am I going the wrong way? I am going the wrong way. I want to go this way, so I'm a little bit in the center there. All right, there we go. It was a wonderful panel, and I actually have another panel coming up with them tonight. That's right. I'm not sure all of you will be able to see it. Or is this the one that... Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, geez. I got to zoom in a little bit here on this one so you can actually read it. There we go. Hey, that's me. That's my mug right there. So, yeah. This is happening tonight. Excuse me. At the Town Hall, Seattle. 3 out of the 4 authors from Art and Arcana will be there. Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, and myself will also be there. Talking about the visual history of Dungeons and Dragons, this amazing tome of a book that is available now in stores. Art and Arcana. It is a 400-page plus book. More than 700 pieces of art are contained within it, tracing from the youth of Dungeons and Dragons when it was brand new, being drawn on napkins, to when it is being portrayed today. There is even an image from one of the events that I produced, the the Stream of Annihilation from 2017, and that was just a real kick for me to be able to be represented in that way. So go check it out if you can. If you are in the Seattle area, you can watch this live town hall. I don't think it'll be broadcast anywhere. It's only for you live, but we may be taking some of the audio and putting it up as a podcast later on. We have already spoken to the authors on Dragon Talk, but you never know. More stuff may come up in this conversation. It's also because it's the day before Halloween. Many folks are showing up in costume, and if you do, you'll be entered into an amazing raffle to win a prize. That's from us. That's right. So come check it out. We'll be talking more about Art and Arcana, and I can't wait because it is always a joy to speak to these fine folks. All right. It is a D&D Bible. That's right, Dilligan Gaffern. It is like a big Bible. Pre-pressed DM Dark Lament. You've been pushing the town hall tonight to all of your friends. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. Are they all going to come? I hope so. You're going as a dungeon master. Good to hear. Mm-hmm. Hydrate Bot is the place to be. Right. So all of the TwitchCon going, oh, it's Jefferson. Hi, Jefferson. Now that all makes sense. You're a good person. Jefferson Dunlap is, of course, a wonderful dungeon master, as well as a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and he just happens to help us all out when we're looking for archived TSR images, as well as finding, just out where all of the D&D images have come and gone and been and where they will be, and he was of an amazing help to the authors behind all of this. So thank you to you, Jefferson, and I'm excited to shout you out from the stage at Town Hall Seattle. So you're going to get lots of shout outs today, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. Cool beans. Yeah, another there's 2 Dunlaps? Oh my gosh, there's so many Dunlaps. Sing the news. That's right, I will, Don Lemerjo. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong, but I'm going to go with it for now. There is news to be had by people. All right, so let me get out the big products out there just so you're all aware in case you weren't. So there is... That's amazing. Sorry, I just got... Every once in a while, I've used my real computer for this, and as you do, there's pop-ups that say oh, this email came from someone, and I just got some really cool news down there that may impact future Dice Camera Action episodes. So I'll let you stew on that. It may have something to do with falling off of couches. Anywho, there is an amazing amount of products that Dungeons & Dragons is putting out there, stories to be immersed in. The first, of course, is Waterdeep Dragon Heist. If you haven't picked that up or learned all about it, it is basically all about finding 500,000 of these. These gold dragon coins are hidden below the streets of Waterdeep. It's an urban adventure. You vie against all of the bad guys depicted in this here image right here. One of these days I'm going to know where my finger points there. All of the bad guys that are depicted there. And as Barantor says in chat, Dragon Heist is rad. It is indeed. I will be picking up my home game. I think we're on session 4. Still going through chapter 1. They're slow. They're newer players, and there's only 2 of them, so I didn't want to kill them quite yet. But I'll be adding some players and some fun stuff to it on Friday, and I can't wait. And it is out in stores, so jump in while you can. And if you are going to jump in now, or at least in the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to pick up this Waterdeep Dragon Heist dice. It is a set of dice right there, and it is glorious. So while I'm doing that, why don't I just open that up and make it happen. Here, I'm going to go to this shot. Here we go. I'm going to go to this shot while I open this up so you don't have to be worried about everything. So, yeah, it comes in a package like this. As you can see, there's some dice on the side. Yes, all right there. Now you see, we've included for the first time 2 d20s so that you can roll with advantage or disadvantage if your dungeon master is salty. With these dice, look at that ampersand right there. I'm trying to put it in such a way so, man, my brain is not working today. How is that? There you go. There-ish. Look at that. Look at that. It's a big, oversized D20. I love that. There's also a smaller sized D20 that does not have the ampersand, but you can still roll with advantage on that. And then, of course, there's four D6s, a D12, and they all have got that kind of like blue with a yellowish brown. Here's the D8. I'm showing off all the different sizes of dice just in case you were unaware how dice worked. There is a D4, and then here is the percentile dice. There, right there. Let's see what I get. What kind of trinket do I get? Someone look it up. I got a 42. What trinket did I get on the trinket tables? Let me know in the chat. But there's also this amazing thing, which I've shown. I think I've shown a prototype of this before. But here it is in the flesh. This is what it's going to look like when you get it. And we're calling this a hit point tracker. So you can put this in front of your setup as you're a player, and you say, I have 13 hit points, and everyone knows you have 13 hit points. Or say, I have 26 hit points, and you can set it up however you want. You can have it trace charges on your wands or charges on your staves. Staves? Staves? No. It really runs the gamut. But it's got this nice kind of visceral kind of feel to it, and it's a good way to kind of have a numeric tracking thing. So this comes with the Waterdeep Dragon Heist dice that are available out there. So look for those in game stores, and here I am talking about it, and I'm trying to figure out when exactly they come out, so I can tell you. Of course, I can't just easily search for this, can I? Of course I can't. Maybe Lauren will beat me to the punch as far as whenever it gets out. Bear Glove. Yes, you got the bear. You got the call back there where it runs the gamut. I actually saw Blue Jay a bunch of times at TwitchCon, and I couldn't help but make a. Oh, there it is. Yes, it's coming out on November 20th. Yes. Thank you, Lauren. You found it just at the same time that I did. Or maybe I saw you in this document. That's where it all came through. So $25, $24.95, available in all kinds of game stores. Again, you get your full set of dice with 2 D20s and this hit point tracker. Can't go wrong there. And it's perfect for those of you who are still or about to start Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaigns. Good stuff all around there. But I also want to talk about Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. Because we have the amazing Broken Pact folks running through those adventures right now. They were at TwitchCon. That's Ruben Bressler and his amazing cast. I really dug hanging out with them. They have a passion for the lore of Ravnica, and they brought it to life, or have been bringing it to life every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But they did it at TwitchCon at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and you should check it out if you're interested in how to play Dungeons & Dragons in the realm of Ravnica. It is quite fun. There's a lot of very iconic characters and creatures and things that you can only, just the fact that they were dealing with a Thopter, one of those artifact machines that have been in Magic the Gathering for a long, long time, but here they were dealt with in a D&D fashion, and it was super fun. And if you're interested, you might want to pick up a Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which will be in game stores on November 9th and everywhere else on November 20th. And you might also want to pick up this little package, the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica dice. So it comes in a dice tin like this, and yeah, pretty beautiful, gorgeous. It's got all the symbols of the 10 guilds that are in Ravnica, and it's got a nice foam overlay where you have all of your dice there. Only one D20 comes with this set, but you do get this amazing 10-sided guild die. And there is mechanics within Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica if you want to like randomize what was going to, which guild you're going to encounter, or which guild would benefit the most from what's happening. You can roll on this and take the symbol and use that, incorporate it in your gang. And it's also kind of just a neat little artifact that you can maybe even characters can find something like this, and it would bind all of the guilds together with the guild pact or something along those lines. I'm kind of talking out of my butt, but that's what they mean. And then these dice is beautiful. It's got this like clouded striation within it. It looks like a little bit gray in general, and then the blue letters and numbers on there just really pop very well. So I'm liking them. What do you guys think? Do you like these dice? Would you be happy to add these dice to your collection? Yes, they are pretty, says Fletcher. How's it going, man? Good to see ya. I think I saw Sean in there. Hey, Sean, how's it going? It was nice to meet you at TwitchCon. That was very cool that we got to meet. But yeah, I keep taking out these dice and putting them back in without showing you. Sorry about that as I'm talking. I like that they consistently put the dot at the bottom so you're not, you know, which 9 and 6s are there. Cool. So these are going to be available, again, in this tin, the Guildmaster's Guild to Ravnica tin, in-game stores on November 20th. So cool. Timed up right with the November 20th wide release of Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. Sweet. All right. We also have another fun thing. We have so many things, but want to let you know about Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Excuse me. Waterdeep, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. For that is where Undermountain is. It is below the city of Waterdeep, down in Hallister Blackcloak's domain. What happens below? It's terrible. It's a mega dungeon that you can discover and explore. As you know, you get more powerful. You're going to need to be more powerful as you contend against Hallister and his apprentices. It is going to be pretty amazing. It's out on November 9th in-game stores and on D&D Beyond, as well as Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and most of the places you can get D&D product. And it will also come out with this product, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Maps and Miscellany. What does that mean exactly? Well, that's one of the reasons why we have a camera to be able to show you what exactly this means. So this comes out on November 20th as well. And it is a folder. You know, so it comes in a cardboard folder like this, and you open it up like so. And you can see in there are, I don't want to give away too much, so get some of the details here, but those are maps, detailed maps of each of the levels of Undermountain, and they're on these nice dry erase. I feel like I'm spoiling stuff, you know, a la Nathan Stewart by showing you these things, but they're just so cool that I can't show them off without doing some of it. So you're just going to have to suspend your disbelief, people. But they are these amazingly detailed maps with locations in there, and what I think the best use case for these are, no, they're these are the maps of each of the levels. I'm answering the question here, so yeah, sorry if I got a little brain. But are they the same as Dragon Heist? They are different than Dragon Heist, but these are represented in such a way so that you can easily refer to them. It's not meant to be used on your own. You're supposed to be able to, you know, if you have your book open or you have your laptop open, you can use these map keys, so you don't have to constantly be flipping back and forth within the book or having 2 web pages open. You can have a physical thing in front of you that you can refer to without having to, you know, get messed up. They're also, like I said, they're dry erase, so you can put notes on here and change it up based on how far your party has gotten, things like that, or like, you know, this thing happened here. So they're versatile that way. Again, they're high quality, and they're, like I said, a little bit stiff, so they won't get ruined very easily. And there's also, reason why the Maps and Miscellany thing is in there, there is some handouts. So you'll find this out when you get Dungeon of the Mad Mage, but there is kind of not necessarily like a mechanic, but there is the idea that you might be able to get random rumors. So these are perforated cards that you can split up and sometimes randomly give out to your party members if they find something, and it gives them smaller short-term goals within the manga dungeon. I'm not going to show you what this text looks like on the other side, but it's a nice way to give smaller tasks to your party rather than just give them the open-ended, this is what's happening in the entire dungeon, deal with it. You'll have smaller quests and rumors that you can follow up in, and we made those more easily accessible in the Maps and Miscellany pack with these cuts. Again, you can like kind of cut these out and hand these out to your party. Cool. Want to make sure I showed that off as much as I can. I'll be doing probably some more of it over the next couple of weeks, showing them off to everyone so they can get what they are looking for. For those of you who are tuning in just now, there is not a new episode of Dice Camera Action coming tonight. Everyone is either traveling or recovering from TwitchCon, as the case may be. We will be returning next week in November with tons of Dice Camera Action fun stuff going on. Hello.
You want Kyle in here at all or no?
What's that?
Kyle.
Is he here? Sure. Why not?
Okay.
All right, come on. We might have a special guest here for D&D News, which is always fun and entertaining. One of the authors of Art and Arcana, dun dun dun, might be stopping in, so you get an extra special little bit here for the next half hour while we're talking through some of this. So cool. I can't wait for that. Before we do, let me try to get through some of this news because there are some really cool write-ups that happened. So Geekwire came to the Wizards of the Coast office recently. Let me try and get this open for you before I go crazy. All right. Yes, so check this out. Geekwire. It's kind of a Seattle-based thing, but they went to meet with a whole bunch of startups, CEOs, executives who are playing Dungeons and Dragons now even more than they had in the past. And it's a great write-up. It acknowledges kind of where D&D came from, what it was like in the before times, and what it's like now, and how more and more people are becoming increasingly vocal, as it says here in this quote, part of an increasingly vocal group that is gathering to play the wonderfully dorky game of Dungeons and Dragons. That's kind of crazy. That's how I would describe it. But if you haven't, please take a chance and look at this. Kurt Schlosser did an amazing write-up of all of these fantastic, folks that you may not think of as D&D players. The startups of technology companies making, I don't know, gobs and gobs of actual real gold pieces out there. Still like to get together, and you think, with a technology CEO or someone in that startup world, they wouldn't necessarily love to do something that's so face-to-face or tactile like Dungeons and Dragons, but they do. And as you can tell from this picture here and there, it's this wonderful blend of using the digital tool. So it looks like at least they have a laptop open there. I can't tell if that's D&D Beyond being used, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But then having this also face-to-face kind of nature with the printed out character sheets, the miniatures on the table with the dry erase, huge map. This just looks very much like my own setup, so I think it's very cool. Hello, what's up, Kyle?
What's up?
How's it going? Welcome. How are you? Come take a seat. We are. Oh wait, I gotta do this right here. Oh, you had one. Okay.
Nathan sent me one.
Sweet. All right, here. Come on over. Hey everybody, this is Kyle Newman.
Where's the camera?
It's that little one right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Hello.
That's crazy.
We're crashing the office.
We have Art and Arcana. It's crazy.
I'm Art. He's Arcana.
I like that little combo.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? I feel like we were going to be hanging out.
Just hanging out at TwitchCon. Saw you 2 days, and now we're here again.
That's right.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we're doing our town hall in Seattle tonight. You all ready for that?
Oh my God, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
We're ready. We just came from Google.
But what's that like?
Lucasfilm and Pixar, and we asked the audience, we say, who here plays in a room of 100 people? 99 raised their hand.
What? That's insane.
D&D is out there. So it's so awesome.
And yeah, I was just talking about this article that they did at Geekwire that was all of these, technology companies, and you just mentioned two much bigger ones that are out there, and people are flocking to this analog game and loving to play it while still being really immersed in the digital world. I mean, here I am with 4 different screens and 3 cameras and all this type of stuff, but I love getting back to that visceral thing of being around a table and talking to people. So it's crazy to see.
It is. It's great. It's great going out there, meeting people, seeing people respond to the book, meeting people that just love D&D, whether it's 5th edition or they're fans from all the way back to OD&D. They're all still part of the same community, and it's this rich 45-year history. It's like a family.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
I know, right? And everybody here in Twitch chat feels like a family. Some of them are saying, oh, look, there's some people saying hi, Kyle. That's Justin Fletcher saying hello. He was at the stream of Many Eyes.
That was awesome, by the way.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Can't wait till the next stream.
Yeah. You guys got to do your costumes up.
The stream of my basement.
Are you going to be streaming from your basement?
No, I don't know. We keep talking about maybe one day we'll stream some stuff, or maybe we'll do something with Joe when we play in one of those crazy games. And
now, do you ever find, because you're a director,
yeah,
you're definitely, a lot of your work is about making a product out there for people to see. Do you ever feel like you don't necessarily want to stream for that reason, because you're like, oh, this is for me, this is from my friends, this is my off time?
Sometimes. When I played on the stream this weekend, the Jeremy Crawford game with Satine and Xavier and Adam, it was wonderful. But there was a different pressure to it, because the first time I'd really streamed a game, participated with you guys like that. That was an honor, and it was awesome. But it's almost a different type of game than we play at home, so maybe... And there's a little more rules arguing. There's some petitioning of the DM for things you want to happen with other players. So has a different vibe. It may not be as entertaining and palatable, but it would be cleaned up.
He says the stream from my basement sounds like a horror movie.
Yes.
That really does sound pretty terrifying. What's happening in the stream of my basement?
Yeah.
But you're totally right. It is a different feel. It's not friends getting together and for lack of a better term, bullshitting with each other. Yeah. It's like you are when you're streaming live in front of cameras. It's very presentational.
Because I'm always like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go bake the cookies, and there's like those little moments.
Yeah.
Poor
Satine had a pee so bad. She was like, I can't believe I just left the stream because I had a stream.
You have to, yeah, and that's just the thing. So it has a different energy, but that's fun. It kept me on my toes. I want to play a character I knew.
Right. Yeah. So what was the character you played?
I play my character Aether Hollowglow. He's a Wood Elf Gloomstalker Ranger. A little bit of rogue mixed in, and nice. I just leveled up to 7 in my home Tomb of Annihilation game, and and Jeremy was like, bring a level 7 character, and boom, synergy. It was awesome.
I dig on that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did you see this yet? Have you seen our dice?
I've seen pictures.
I just showed these off to the stream, but I want to make sure
you
got
edible?
a chance to look at. Yeah. They look like it, right? They almost look like,
these are cool.
Little chocolates.
I like it as like nice gold and a little antique quality.
Yeah, and this one's got like a hit point tracker. Have you seen that thing? Great. That thing is super cool.
Must get this. When are these in stores?
November 20th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, this is cool.
So one of the other things, I don't know if you got to see this, but at TwitchCon, we announced our partnership with Adobe for a thing called Summon the Terror of Undermountain. It is a contest that is out there right now for you. I was talking about Undermountain and how there was all the different maps, and it's filled up with stuff in. I know. Did you get to see these yet? Gosh. I know. I feel bad showing them because I'm like, that's like the actual map that nobody knows about yet. But there's all of these areas in those maps that are undiscovered, uncharted, and just like all of the monsters that are in there, there is the chance for more creative folks in the D&D community to create monsters. That's homebrew has been part of Dungeons and Dragons from the beginning. As you trace in Art and Arcana. And with this contest, Summon the Terror of Undermountain, you out there right now can create your Dungeons and Dragons monster to your heart's content. Check it out if you can. I think, Lauren put the link right there in the chat. It is dnd.wizards.com/articles/news/terror-undermountain. Saying that out loud once, just so at least someone who's listening can hear it. But you can find the actual link in the chat. And Richard Witters, concept artist for Dungeons & Dragons, he created all these monster parts that you could use and put them together however you want to create. Like
amalgamation of body parts. Yeah, that's very Frankenstein. I love it. Yeah.
Right, you can make your owlbear-esque creature. And submit it. I think the deadline is November 14th, so get it in before then. And then there's a panel of 6 artists, 3 from the Adobe side, 3 from the Wizards of the Coast side, that will pick a winner, and that winner will get stats and perhaps even a miniature designed from the monster you create, made by one of our partners. So
getting blazoned in plastic. Do it.
I know. It used to be bronze. Bronze used to be the thing, but
poisoning.
Oh, delicious. I love that. I think Adobe was very smart to realize that there's this creativity of Dungeons and Dragons players out there. It feeds directly into the folks who make Photoshop and all those amazing
that's great.
Things. And in fact, go ahead and watch if you haven't. There was a special Dungeons and Doodles live from TwitchCon. Bart Carroll was moderating with Satine Phoenix, drawing on her own Wacom board. And
she's good. I saw her pancake.
She great. Did her own pancake. She did her own pancake. Yeah,
that was her first pancake ever, and I was blown away.
I know,
this is
right?
A high quality pancake.
Did you even know that she was an artist?
I didn't.
Yeah, she has got graphic artist chops for days. So we're referring to Dan Cakes. They also came to an event of ours at TwitchCon. And if you're unfamiliar, go look it up. It's on Dan Cakes. Lee Goldberg is an artist there, and he makes fantastic D&D monsters. In fact, there was even, I think, one of my character from Clerical Error, Fabian, he did very recently. Satine got to try her hand at taking the batter, and then all of a sudden you flip it over, and it's like, boom.
Is that your blind character?
Yes.
Is he a chimney sweep? What is your occupation?
Oh, dung sweeper.
Dung sweeper.
Yes,
that's right.
We're in the Dung Sweepers Guild.
That's right.
Yes, the Green Spaces division of the Dung Sweepers Guild, trying to make Waterdeep green.
That's great.
As green as we can. Yeah, being a devotee of my leaky will do that for us for sure. And then the last piece of news is about you guys.
Oh,
yeah, John Peterson.
Wonderful.
Spoke to Quartz about Art and Arcana and D&D's role in the fantasy world. I love John's quotes, but it's likely only the beginning. After all, D&D is where it all started. Says Peterson, I think it's impossible to do fantasy, whether you're George R.R. Martin or take your pick, without having some picture of D&D in what you're doing. And we talked about that a lot in our panel, how it's the tendrils of D&D is in everything.
Yeah, the foundations of it. I mean, there's so much art, but before D&D codified it visually, there wasn't much out there. I mean, it was written in Tolkien, and you had some type of cartography and maps of what was going on in that world, Middle Earth. But until D&D, there weren't maps and there weren't these guides to monsters, so you could actually bring all these creatures from Greek mythology and Norse mythology and Celtic mythology and brand new creations all together into one universe. And it inspired so many artists, and I think everybody that's gone on to storytelling and fantasy storytelling, D&D has it's part of the culture.
Right.
You can't escape it. And I think John's like the Indiana Jones of
See, I thought he was the magic user. I thought he was the magic user of your group.
He got into it through magic first.
Okay.
We all started before him, but then he got deep into the archaeology with us, and he uncovers some cool finds.
He has found some amazing stuff. Even before you guys started working together, so you got him at the right moment.
So we got to bring some of his private collection, other collectors he knew into the mix, and you study what is it about a beholder that survives through all these generations through each edition, and there are these intrinsic elements in their DNA that are just out there. That's like a legendary creature, That's one of D&D's most famous monsters. Everyone knows a beholder.
Everyone. Well, they will now. Hopefully.
My mom knows now.
My mom still doesn't know. I will try to explain it to her. I'll show her a picture and be like, and then she'll run away
screaming. What is that thing? Turn the page.
That wasn't in my Bible. When I showed this tome, many people said, "Oh, it's the fantasy Bible." It really
I just said this is the yearbook for D&D artists. This is kind of what this is, but it's not just pictures. There's like 50,000 words, and it's like a visual history, it says, but it's really a history with visuals.
Yeah.
And you can't really do one without the other.
Agreed.
So getting to tell the stories of these artists that most people have forgotten, 14-year-old artists, school teachers, like, Katie Cook. There's so many...
school teachers? What's that story?
There's, Gary was... tapping into whoever was in the community. So if his daughter was in class with somebody like Tracy Lesh and she saw him doodling in the notebook, she's like, you have to meet my dad. And then he went on to draw Origins 1, Tomb of Horrors in 1975, and that became the basis for what became the 1978 module. So, and he was paying these kids $1 or $2 per picture. You know, they weren't professional artists, but they had the passion and the desire to draw fantasy art. So
yeah,
we tell a lot of stories in here.
And that's the type of stuff, you know, the Adobe thing is tapping into as well.
Yes.
Like that idea that like it doesn't matter who you are, your creativity will come forward.
That's what D&D is. I think it's imagination. It's giving you the tools to just go tell any story you want.
For sure. I love that. So we usually go through a lot more of a streaming and what's going on for the week. Do you want to stick around for that, or you want to?
I might have a limited window. I can stick around for one more segment.
One more segment.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we talked about. Oh, we didn't talk about the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of D&D.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you seen that yet?
I have. Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. I mean, I love illustration. I've got young kids, so it's a great book. I love that Dungeons and Dragons is trying to connect with younger audience. It becomes lifestyle and generational. So parents who are into it, or new parents, or even if you're not, you want to give it to your nephew. It's a really cool way to get kids and tapped into the D&D zeitgeist.
Right. And as I mean, how old are your kids?
3 and just turned 5.
Wow. Okay. So you've been reading a lot of bad books, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books.
There's a lot of books where I'm like, what is this about?
I don't need. That makes no sense. It doesn't even rhyme. The
and
meter is off.
All he wants is Beholder merchandise. Where's my Lego Beholder? Where's my Beholder stuffed animal?
Well, we're working on all that stuff.
Got a Beholder birthday cake, and he's never played. He doesn't know what it is. He just likes the creature.
Oh, see, that would be cool. Have a birthday cake with
That's
eyes
a cool book.
shooting out.
ABC's 1, 2, 3 is really
right.
Nice
well,
art.
what I was trying to get at is that what Ivan and Caleb have done is created a book that's fun to read for adults, because I think that's half the reason why like things like Dr. Seuss and things have been popular for generations now, is because it's just fun. You get into it and you get into the poetry of it, and it's good. And I will always go towards books like that rather than the ones that don't have that artistry to it. Absolutely. And then you're also, inundating them with D&D storytelling and the imagination of what makes that cool.
It into their veins.
Exactly. Right. So those books are coming out on November 13th. There's 2 of them. There's the ABCs of D&D and the 1, 2, 3s of D&D. They're written by Ivan Van Norman, who did all of the off-the-table dungeon mastering at the Stream of Many Eyes, and illustrated by Caleb Cleveland. Go check it out. It's going to be perfect for anybody who has young kids or is young at heart and wants to get people into it. But speaking of great gifts, though, there's also the core rulebook gift sets that are coming out. So I don't know if you're like me, but your player's handbook or your dungeon master's guide might have some dog-eared corners or some smashes, or maybe you spilled Coke over all of them or something.
Yeah, it's time for an update.
Time for an update. It's been 4 years, people. And here's a perfect way to do that: a gift for yourself.
Your pizza fingers,
the
pages, your barbecue sauce dotting the corners.
Exactly.
You want to get the new books, and I like the Hydro 74 covers.
Yeah, what do you think of those?
Gorgeous. I mean, he's one of the coolest artists working in D&D right now. We had him grace the cover of our special edition, and I love him. I think it's awesome to get those books. It's a good way to update it with the errata, and it's time. Those broken bindings. It's time to update, kids.
Absolutely. And you're right. I do, and I love how they're all these. The Hydra 74 covers are reimaginings of the character that was on the cover of those books. So it's King Schnur for the Player's Handbook, Acererak for the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah.
Like Nathan's now helping me out with things, and then it is Xanathar for the Monster Manual. That's correct.
He's so cute.
He's very cute. You just want to give him a big
squeeze and die.
And he's like, disintegrate. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so
I will
much.
see you in
3 times in 4 days.
I know, right? It's gonna be
record.
God, we gotta be there at 7, right? So we only got like a couple hours.
Yes. If you're in Seattle, come see us.
Absolutely.
Tonight. Bring costumes. Full cosplay.
You might be able to win some fun D&D stuff you can't get anywhere else.
We're giving away Death Saves, tour shirts, the Tour of Horrors. You can get them there for free, or you can buy them on Joe's Death Save site. But these are given away tonight if you ask questions. So come in costume. If you got an awesome costume, we're going to give you one too.
Sweet. All right, everybody in Seattle.
Thank you.
We'll see you there. Awesome. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks again.
Take it easy. Bum, bum, bum. Excellent. I think that might have been the first just drop by for D&D news, and I kind of dug it. I'm liking it. So one of the other fun things that are coming out is Dungeon Mayhem. Totally an amazing piece of game design. Everyone who I have introduced to this game, including a whole bunch of people at TwitchCon, they just jumped in, they learned how to play the game immediately, and they're like, I want to play again. And that's what it's going to be like when it is out on November 16th. It takes 4 iconic D&D classes. So there's the Barbarian, the Paladin, the Rogue, and the Wizard. Each of them have their own art, depiction of the character. I'm blanking on what the names of each of them are, but they're all named characters. But they all have their own style of play. Each have their own deck, and you're all trying to whittle down each of them. So there's only one man or one character left standing, and it is super simple but difficult to master, and that's like the epitome of good game design. I think a lot of people are going to jump into it. It's got a low price point. It's very easy, iconic imagery. The art by Kyle Farron is fantastic. It was designed by 2 folks here, Jordan and Roscoe, at Wizards of the Coast. And it's kind of this amazing success story in that they are not game designers by trade. They do different facets of work here at Wizards of the Coast, but they pitched it, and it was a solid idea, and we got it into production super fast because we knew it would be a home run for younger audiences, especially for this time of year. There's a lot of gift giving. It is perfect to drop into what I like to call a stocking for you, and I think you should. So check that out if you haven't already. Again, we mentioned the Art and Arcana Town Hall, and then we have an amazing thing, Extra Life. Can't believe we've gotten this far without talking about Extra Life. But we are running an amazing amount of D&D programming starting on Saturday, November 3rd, going all the way until the next weekend, raising money to help the kids at Seattle Children's Hospital or other hospitals within the Children's Miracle Network. What is Extra Life? It is really just a promotion to play games and raise money for these groups of health facilities out there, and they do great work. We'll be starting with 3 games on Saturday, November 3rd, on the this here channel, twitch.tv/DND. So look for more information there at dnd.wizards.com/extralife, as Lauren just put here in the chat. It is cool. We're going to be doing lots of things. Clerical Error, the show that I am in on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We will also be raising money. In fact, I have my page. I haven't gotten that many donations, so please throw some my way. Wizards of the Coast, the entire team for D&D has been doing an amazing job at raising funds for this cause. I think Mike Merles is right up there. Nathan Stewart is right behind him, maybe only 1,000 behind him. Chris Lindsay is doing a fantastic job, but I have been lagging very, very, very far behind. So please throw a few bucks my way. There's a couple of ways that you can do it to affect the game that Lauren will be running for us next week. So check that out. My profile there is at Greg Tito, I believe, or /Greg Tito, or search for me. I use my name everywhere in case you haven't noticed. So yeah, look for that. Donate if you can. We are loving the fact that everyone is purchasing Dungeons & Dragons t-shirts for Extra Life. There are a couple of ways that you could do that through the custom ink link that the Moobot threw in the chat as well there. Lots of options. If we don't get to a certain number of options for some of those things, they will go away even for the people who have pledged. So if you want a D&D tote with some of those logos on there, I suggest you get in there and make it happen. If you want a D&D t-shirt that looks like a beholder or has that amazing feel, all those t-shirts were designed by Emi Tanji, the graphic artist from the D&D team who does work on almost all of the products that we throw out there. So grab them while you can. Get some nice D&D loot while also supporting a great cause, and I don't know, maybe making some fun stuff in Clerical Error happen. Yeah, there's a thing you can do, I think it's on Lauren's page, where you can write a weird, wild happening of Waterdeep in 25 words or left, I believe, and you, Lauren will take all of those ones that are designed. She'll roll on a random table, kind of like a wild magic table, and those things might just occur. So I'm pretty excited about that, and it is a great way for you to infect our game with some fun, crazy, improvisational causing things. I was laughing because Obo Crazy put clerical error page, and there's an error in clerical error. There was a typo in there, and that made me laugh for many reasons. It's very funny. Cool. So the 3 games that are going on Saturday, November 3rd are from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. D20 Dames is an amazing group of folks led by Kat Kruger, Dungeon Master, and then the players Brittany Lee Liange, Maris Mulali, who also plays in Clerical Error with us, and Jen Vaughn. I got something to talk about that in a second, but I want to make sure you guys know about that. At 1:30 p.m., Adam Lee, an amazing writer who wrote all the text to Adventures Outlined, will be running a game that starts at 1:30 with many members of the D&D team, including Bart Carroll, Ari Levitch, Shelly Mazanoble, who will be playing Dungeons & Dragons live on a stream for the first time. So make sure you throw some money her way. Emmy Tanji and Sean Wood, 2 amazing folks. And then at 4 p.m. Pacific time, Chris Lindsay will be dungeon mastering for Bill Benham, Satine Phoenix, Will Straley, Todd Kenrick, and Travis Woodall. Please check that out if you can. And then at the following weekend, Gamehole Con will be streaming live on Friday, November 9th and November 10th, and we'll be updating you guys with all of those amazing games later on. So that is Extra Life. And for those of you who are tuning on right now, sorry to say there will be no new dice camera action today. Everybody is recovering from either TwitchCon or traveling from TwitchCon right now. We will be playing a video on demand in just a few minutes of last week's episode, the normally scheduled episode on Tuesday, episode 114. We'll be replaying that, and then as soon as we get the raw video file from Twitch for all the other fun stuff, we'll be pointing those out on the YouTube and things like that. If you haven't checked out Dice Camera Action Live from TwitchCon and the /Twitch page, you can go do that from that episode. I think someone just posted in early on when I was talking about this where that video on demand is, and we're going to throw another link in there for you so that you can check it out and make it a thing. Because it is worth watching. There were costumes galore. I want to give a big thank you and a shout out to everyone who helped out with that live show from Twitch, including Anna Prosser for making it all happen and being Evelyn and awesome. The rest of the Waffle crew, so Nate, Holly, and Jared, they did an amazing job. Their costumes as going to this amazing dinner party looked fantastic. I loved Strix as being done up and not being very happy about that. It was super fun. And then all of our amazing guests, starting with Felicia Day, who played the ghost of Lady Margaster. I was going to say Lady Lathander, and that's completely wrong. Romeo Kilo, no, I can't say VOD. I have to say VOD. It's like part of my blood. I'm sorry about that. And then our other amazing guests, Malik Forte as a vampire hunter, or hunter of evil creatures, as he liked to say over and over again, or hunter of foul creatures. And WWE superstar Xavier Woods did another amazing job as his cohort vampire hunter in crime. I loved how they hammed it up as soon as they got on the stage. They fit in really well with the Waffle crew. And then, of course, Vivid Vivka reprising her role as a noblewoman. And that's all I'm going to say on that regard. So if you haven't watched that, please go ahead and do that. Full costumes. The props were amazing. A shout out to Steve, who created the 2 swords, the Sun Sword and the Flaming Sword, and Lauren Matisik from Castle Corsetry, who made all the amazing costumes for our guests, including, I can't believe I didn't mention this, Strahd's costume that Chris Perkins wore. It was the talk of TwitchCon, at least in the D&D booth at that Sunday. He came and did a panel, and I took some kind of fun pictures. So if you want to see pictures from TwitchCon, there's not tons of them, but I do have some pictures from TwitchCon on my Instagram page. Check it out, Greg_Tito. You can always follow me on Twitter at Greg Tito and get all the updates of many of the things I've been talking about today, including sometimes some behind-the-scene pictures of what's happening as we're producing all these fun shows. So thank you to everyone who were listening and or watching me for this D&D news segment. You are wonderful. I'll be back next week. Again, we are going to run a VOD of episode 114 of Dice Camera Action starting right about now. Thank you, everybody.